Hello everyone, we're back. More severe weather coverage here. Chief Morales, Joel Fritzma alongside Ryan. There we go. And we're back for part 2 coverage. Said we would be back. Here it is, severe thunderstorm warning. Now in effect once for northeast Michigan now. This is going to be up near Alpena. National Weather Service of Gaylord has issued this severe thunderstorm warning for Alpena County till 7:15 Eastern. Short-lived. It says at 6:48, severe thunderstorm was located over Lachine, moving east at 20 miles per hour. Hazards are 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar-sized hail. That half-dollar-sized hail would be 1.25 inches in diameter. Is radar indicated hail damage to vehicles is expected. Wind damage to roof-siding trees also possible. Severe thunderstorm will be near Lachine and Long Rapids around 7 o'clock. Other locations impacted by this severe thunderstorm include Devil's Lake. For protection, move to interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Again, this is 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1.5-inch hail. I heard the chime from far away. I was eating, so you can blame this one on me tonight. For those who don't know, the inside joke is once someone goes to eat, something goes warned, and that has been the case. It is true tonight. It was very... it was back-to-back. For the alerts, by the way. So we had special weather statement, and then the warning popped up like 5 minutes after the statement popped in. So there was very little wiggle room in terms of going from a normal rain shower to a strong to severe thunderstorm. And look at that core right now, heading right towards Lachine. Again, the time says 7 o'clock, but it might be quicker than that. If we go ahead and click on correlation coefficient, there's quite the hail core in here. VIL also depicts that hail core as well, and this is heading right down M32 into Lachine as we speak. It really popped up as it headed over Hillman and entered Alpena County. And again, anywhere where you see these pinks turning to blacks on radar, that is not good. So if you're in Lachine, large hail possible. 1.25 inches in diameter is the current hail diameter. If I go ahead and zoom in on this and look at the hail, oh my goodness. The hail core on this, guys, is over 35,000 feet. It's almost 40,000 feet on this storm. So that is a very, very tall hail core. And again, the higher you go up, the colder it gets. So the taller the storm, the more supercooled liquid that's forming and tumbling around and accreting into these ice crystals that turn into hailstones. And that is what's happening right now as this heads into Lachine. It's a very, very strong thunderstorm, and much worthy of a severe thunderstorm warning, as this is heading right down M32 towards Alpena if it can stay together. Now the good news is storms like today, they like to billow up and then come crashing down within maybe 15 to 30 minutes time. And so while this looks very intense on radar right now, maybe 10-15 minutes down the road, this core could completely collapse to the ground. Unfortunately, this means for Lachine it would be collapsing over you guys. However, as it goes past Lachine, it could collapse back to a normal rain shower. So in the current time of 6:54 and 55 seconds, this is a very concerning storm for some larger hail. Ryan, GR2 has a 3-inch hail indicator on here. I don't think that's that true, but the hail core, again, on our 3D scans is showing upwards of 36,000 feet right now. I have been trying and it hasn't been working. I don't know why. There we go.
Perfect.
No, you're not. My bad.
So what I was saying here was this is moving along M32 here, intersection crossroad M32, M65 near Flanders and Lachine, heading toward Emerson Station just south of Long Rapids. This is going to be Alpena County. Would not be shocked if there was larger than half-dollar size hail falling here, just because this core is quite potent. It's a very tall storm. Also, take note, a couple other cells to the south of this one, heading toward Alcona. This is not currently severe or statemented for that matter, but could see some larger hail falling, or perhaps some small to medium-sized hail falling out of this one as well.
I also wanted to take my radar back here real quick to go over the winds as well. I just updated the base velocity on this, and it looks like this core is starting to collapse down now, where there could be 60-mile-per-hour winds happening in the vicinity of Lachine. Again, that 3-inch hail marker is still there on the screen. Again, that is a radar guess based on data that is presented. That is not likely ongoing. It's likely a lot smaller than that, but it is reading from the mid-levels of the atmosphere if it was unimpeded down to the surface. So again, very large hail possible for Lachine. Not out of the realm of possibility that we see an upgrade to considerable severe thunderstorm warning. Again, considerable would be 1.75-inch diameter hail. So we'll keep an eye on that. But right now, again, it's just a normal severe thunderstorm warning for 1.25-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds, heading right down M32 towards Alpena. Alpena, you guys are not technically in this severe thunderstorm warning. You likely did not have alerts go off on your phone. But if there's an extension, it would be for you guys. This is heading right your way. Might be worthy of a radar post, Ryan.
I got a text post out like 5 minutes ago.
Perfect.
It's going to track very, very close to M32 along its entire path here as it moves toward Alpena. The good news is, if you live in Alpena, like Joel just said, you're not in the warning. You have some time before this gets to you, but it is heading your way slowly. So it's a good idea if you live in Alpena city or proper or around it, you getting your cars and your valuables put in a safe spot if possible. The storm, if it holds together, will impact you in about probably, I'm going to say, 15 or 20 minutes or so. So you have some time to move your cars. If you have garages, good idea to get them in there, just in case the storm does hold together as it continues off to the east.
Oops. That's kind of been the story across northeast Michigan today, too. Boundary to suspend forming cells over and over again on this boundary. It's been sitting back in Otsego County. They've been traveling across Otsego County into Montmorency and portions of Presque Isle and Alpena County, and this is just another one that is riding that line. We also have a couple cells forming to the south now near Alcona and Iosco counties, specifically near Lost Lake Woods and Oscoda itself. We'll have to keep an eye out for larger hail here. VIL also starting to uptick on these as well. We'll go elsewhere in the state. Also a couple cells remaining down in eastern Michigan, specifically one cell that has popped up near Otisville in Genesee County, heading in towards Lapeer County, which got about 3 to 4 inches of rain in some spots earlier today, according to radar estimates. And those cells are going off to the southeast at a slow clip. Tiny little cell also forming and staying stationary over Caucallin in Bay County. Again, main concern right now, though, is the severe thunderstorm warning for west central Alpena County, as this storm does track off to the east at around 20 miles per hour. The mic is cutting in and out. This shouldn't be happening. Testing 1 2. Should be good. Just keep me posted. If you have any hail on M32, let us know. Looks like some gusty winds on M32 at the current time, right near the intersection of M65 and M32. Also trying to do a split into two separate cells once again. Go ahead and take another 3D slice of this cell. Core is still up at around 32,000 feet. It's a very tall core, still worthy of a severe. Correlation coefficient shows there's
we've been upgraded to ping pong ball size hail now.
Got it. And you can definitely tell, look at our correlation coefficient right here, this entire area. For those who might not know radar as much as a correlation coefficient, and what's going on here is anywhere in the pinks and somewhat of the reds, that is uniform objects coming around the atmosphere. And so that would be raindrops and snowdrops that are very circular. Hail is not circular, so we see that being indicated by non-meteorological colors such as yellow and greens and sometimes blues. And that is a large core near Lachine, M32, and points south. So there's the trim. Hillman is no longer near that severe thunderstorm warning box, but the warning has been trimmed back and upgraded to 1.5-inch hail and winds actually underneath 50 miles per hour. So this is now just a warning for some large hail. And again, with 1.5-inch hail, as Ryan mentioned, ping pong ball size hail, that is now a quarter of an inch away from being a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, which would be 1.75-inch hail. So the next size up is 1.75-inch hail, which would be golf ball size hail. And from experience, I have chased a storm that has dropped 1.75-inch hail before. That does cause damage to your car. You do not want to be driving in this severe thunderstorm warning. If you are anywhere in this orange box this evening, you should be taking shelter inside, pulling off as far of the road as possible, and pulling into an establishment underneath an awning if you want to protect your vehicles. Otherwise, again, just pull off the road. Protect your head is the most important thing. Again, objects can be replaced, vehicles can be replaced, your life cannot. And again, large hail hitting your head at speeds of the rate of descent, which would be gravity, is not fun. It will not feel good on your head. So you do want to be taking necessary precautions if you're outside in the storm or out driving. The M32 corridor from Hillman to Alpena, you do not want to be driving there right now. I'll say that with utmost certainty and utmost caution. If you know anyone that is leaving Alpena right now heading to the west, they'll be driving right into this, so you do not want to be doing that right now. So if you are west of town, so I think that's the Walmart there on the west side of town. If you go beyond that, that's about where the warning starts. So you do not want to be going further than that. Again, this is 1.5-inch hail. This is in effect until 7:15 p.m. Likely going to see another warning probably pop up soon. They gave this warning a short leash, so to speak, about a half hour. And with a slow motion on this, they'll likely need another upgrade soon, as the storm has not shown signs of weakening yet.
Also, Joel, I would expect at least, very least, a statement, if not a new warning incoming for northern Alcona County for that cell to the south of that one. Very nice hail core on that has developed, heading toward Alcona near Hubbard Lake. So that one has a very nice core that's developed and continues to blossom. So, excuse me, wouldn't that be shocked to see another statement or perhaps a warning incoming for Alcona?
Yeah.
Looks like the bulk of the hail core is now just south of M32, near Heron, McHarg, and Emerson Station. The storm is likely going to need an extension of the current warning. It looks like it's also trying to dive or shift to the south of M32. Hail core now stretches from Lachine down to about Heron. This is moving still to the east and a little bit south now at about 15 or so miles per hour. I don't see any towns out ahead of this, but I do see Worth Road, Werth, Worth Road. It's an east-west road. It looks like a pretty well-traveled road out of Alpena. That's going to be one of the main roads here to be impacted, as well as Wolf Creek Road, the north-south road that intersects it. Those are the two main intersections where the hill core is heading. Again, Heron, or Haran, or how you pronounce it, as well as McHarg, just south of M32, just south of Emerson Station there. It's going to be heading a little bit east and a little bit south here. So you can kind of track this off this way. Turn on the hill tracker here. As we call it VIL, you can actually see the second storm down here that's not warned currently has a nice hill core that has developed in the northern part of Alcona County, and that is also moving toward Alcona as we speak. The storm is not yet there. Looks like it's still trying to organize there, but we'll see if this continues to develop as it pushes off to the east. One warning in the state, taking a zoomed out look here, taking it back further south. Have a couple of showers and storms on the Genesee-Lapeer County line. Also got a shower in northern Oakland County. Also got a couple areas and pockets of rain up by Collin and Wisner. Otherwise, we're dry. South here, Monroe, Lenawee, Washtenaw, Wayne counties all dry. All the way over here to Kalamazoo, up to Grand Rapids, Lansing, and all the way up here to Cadillac and Traverse City, minus this little shower that's taken shape just to the east of Fife Lake, is it? Or Fife Lake? I think it's Fife Lake. To the east of Fife Lake there. So only warning in the state currently. We do have another shower up here in Alger County that has developed. It looks like the bulk of the hail core is still over Superior, although this does catch my eye. Nice little cell to keep a close eye on heading toward Grand Marais.
Hey, Ryan.
Yes.
I think we have someone that is sending in images from Hubbard Lake right now in our messenger. He says right now Hubbard Lake. I don't know if you want to check it out.
I got it.
Perfect. And we are currently live on Facebook, Twitch TV, X, and YouTube. If you know anyone that doesn't have one platform but might not have another and is located this side of the state, northeast lower Michigan, feel free to share the stream with them. Again, we'll be live as long as it takes for these severe storms to move out of the area. At the current time, that is not anytime soon, as these strongest severe thunderstorms roll east down the M32 corridor and towards Lost Lake Woods in Alcona County. Again, this is northeast lower Michigan. Even if you don't know anyone here, feel free to hit that like button. It does boost the algorithm for this stream and helps it put this in the social media accounts of other fellow Michiganders. Appreciate you guys' support. Again, large hail moving down M32 at the current time towards Alpena, 1.5 inches in diameter. We're waiting on perhaps a warning or some sort of statement incoming for Lost Lake Woods, as there is a nice core in there. As Ryan mentioned, VIL was picking up on it. Ryan's VIL is a lot better than mine, but there it is right there. You can always smooth it.
Scan on VIL did decrease it just a bit. Yep, this is confirmed via one of our viewers, Harper, from Hubbard Lake, reporting 1-inch hail with a ruler. So thank you, Harper, for that.
Do you want to
Appreciate you.
shoot that over to the National Weather Service Gaylord?
Yep, I got you.
Thank you. I'll take over on stream while Ryan does that. Again, we do appreciate you guys' reports. In real time, we are able to fast forward this over to the National Weather Service offices around the state. In this case, National Weather Service Gaylord. And we'll go ahead and tag him in the post and likely see a warning coming out of it, although this is very close to the Lake Huron shoreline. We'll have to see. But 1-inch hail would confirm a severe thunderstorm warning for Alcona County, and confirmed from a viewer in our inbox that it is actually happening. You should be taking shelter if you're in Lost Lake Woods, Black River, even up towards Austin if the storm can move and meander a little bit further north. At the current time, it looks like it's heading to the south of Austin, more towards Black River though. So a double the cells heading through Alpena and Alcona counties at the current time with some large hail at severe limits. Someone says there are sirens sounding in Alpena. Would not be surprised, although Alpena is not in any sort of alert. Some counties do have county-based sirens for certain criteria. Whether that's tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, you name it. Again, there's no tornado warnings in effect right now. So people, again, the sirens are sounded for a boatload of different reasons. They're not called tornado sirens, they're called outdoor warning sirens. So they are issued for multiple different things depending on what your city or your township or your county decides is perfect for your location. So that's why they're we call them very inconsistent, and they're the last way you should receive warning. Best way to receive warning, of course, in the severe weather days is Midland Weather Radio, WR120. We'll link that here in our chat. You can also get text alerts on your phone via apps, or I guess you get them via apps such as Emergency by the Red Cross or the FEMA app. There are also text services you can get out there. I'm not familiar with any, but there are options like that. Now, obviously here at MSC, we are live for every single severe warning. So we're telling you right now what's happening out there in the state. Currently, there is one severe thunderstorm warning in effect, but we might see another one pop in soon for places south of Osneek, Lost Lake Woods, specifically for 1-inch confirmed hail. Other than that, the buddy system works, and again, sirens should be the last mode to get your alerts on severe weather days. As again, they are mentioned, as I mentioned, they are called outdoor warning sirens, so you're only meant to hear them outdoors. So no tornado warnings in effect. Good news there. Bad news is there is 1.5-inch hail falling within the storm. At least 1-inch sized hail confirmed by a viewer. So you do want to be taking shelter inside, away from any windows, so wind-driven hail does not come in and hurt you. If you are inside these polygons, you do want to respect them and take shelter. So these 1-inch hail producing storms are now passing over US 23 very shortly between Osneek and Black River. Specifically near the intersection of M40 or M23 and I think that's going to be Huron. Spruce and Huron. Zoom in even more here. Yeah, Spruce Road at US 23. That's mainly where this first cell is crossing, the apex of that storm, you could call it. You have cell number 2 passing right behind it. Both these cells could be exhibiting or are exhibiting 1-inch hail at the current time. The good news for our cell up in Alpena County, which is currently warned for 1.5-inch hail, it does appear that it is starting to lose its strength just a little bit. And there goes the warning. The warning and the statement have both expired. It is 7:15. That does make sense. And our hail core on that is now down to about 15,000 feet. So that storm is collapsing very quickly. Unfortunately, we have more cells popping up off this boundary back here in Otsego County, so we are not done yet tonight. So we have a long night ahead. It's very hot and humid out there today. And the latest scan for this cell in Alcona County continues to increase. So we're going to stay alive here for a little bit longer.
Very shocked there's not a statement or a warning on that. We've confirmed quarter-size hail in that storm via viewer. Over US 23, going to be on Lake Huron here fairly quickly, but still likely some large, if not severe, hail falling here in the very far northeast part of Alcona County.
Got an image that just came in from our radar post, Ryan, that was posted 11 minutes ago from Ashley. Working to get the location and diameter, but that looks like 1.5-inch hail in her hand, at least.
Yep. Yeah, if not larger than that.
That could be. Yeah. I just put a comment, excuse me, on that. So, again, if you have these hail reports coming in, feel free to send them to us directly. We will see them and toss them over to the National Weather Service in Gaylord. Alternatively, you can send them into our Michigan Weather Reports page on Facebook. Just type that in the search bar, Michigan Weather Reports. I think there's like 85,000 people that are in that group. When you go ahead and get in that group, make sure to submit your reports with time, location, and in this case, with the hail tonight, a good measurement. So we appreciate the hail reports, but we don't know where they're happening and when and the size if you're just putting it in your hand and sharing it with us. So we do appreciate if you give us all the details of your hail report, including size. So use like a coin or a ball or some sort of ruler. A ruler is going to be your best bet there in terms of measuring hail. So make sure to do that when you do submit your hail reports. We also have a Discord server. Thank you for reminding me, Julie. If you want to submit them via Discord, we have Discord server, discord.gg/Michigan Storm Chasers. So a reminder, there is no tornado warning in effect. Sirens are sounded for a boatload of reasons. I know there's a lot of people tuning in from Alpena right now. Welcome in. Feel free to follow along. Good news is your warning has been canceled. It was a severe thunderstorm warning, and it didn't even include the town of Alpena. However, it seems like Alpena's, I don't know what to call it, their policy for sounding the sirens is no matter where there's a severe thunderstorm warning in the county, sound the sirens everywhere. We see that in like Wayne County, for example, as well, down in Detroit. So not surprised there, but again, there is no threat for a tornado. There was a threat for 1.5-inch hail. That warning has since expired. There's still a strong downburst, very close to severe winds and severe hail ongoing, but at the current time there is no boxes to show for it. Every single cell you see on radar has a lot of rain associated with it. Quick downpours out there, 1 to 2 inch rainfall rates per hour. And they're all forming off of this boundary back here in Kalkaska up through Otsego County. You can see more cells firing up directly in the region of Otsego and Montmorency, right in the county line there. And those will continue to train over the same area. They've been training over the same area all afternoon, and now they're doing it this evening here as we are now approaching 7:20 p.m. Also, there's a couple cells that have formed off the lake breeze down in Alcona and Iosco counties.
Another picture coming in on our it's going to be the $50 size text post. It's going to be, looks like probably close to golf balls, if not larger than that.
Wow. Yeah, that would validate what we're seeing out there. Also, Ryan, I'm seeing that post now with the Ashley's hail post. She says that hail size is about 2 inches in diameter.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that was a nice brief period there near Lachine. I'm assuming that's Lachine.
Yeah.
You can see how that cell really peaked, where it changed, those pinks turned to blacks right in the M32 vicinity near Lachine, and has since pretty much fizzled out. Still watching more cells develop back off to the west, down to the south, and even back along the boundary to the west of Atlanta, south of Canada Creek Ranch. Pretty much if you're along the M32 corridor tonight, that's kind of the target zone for these storms. Kind of just have to roll with the punches, and we'll walk you guys through it as the hazards continue to fall. We'll go ahead and click over to VIL. There is a new statement coming in. That looks to be the storm that we got the hail report in on, Ryan. Looks like Alcona, Alpena, so it's going to include both portions of both of those counties.
Waiting for the details to pop in here.
Yep. There they are.
Penny-size hail and winds less than 30.
Well, it's just a hail threat. Wait for the new pop-up, a new box to pop up on here. While that new box pops in, again, strong thunderstorm likely moving on shore near Grand Marais and rural portions of Alger County in the UP. That is not statemented at the current time, but VIL picks up on a small hail core, which likely producing some marble-sized hail there. Atmosphere favors it tonight. Still waiting for the box to pop in.
Yeah, I've got it either. There's also a cell that's basically sitting just on the shoreline of Lake Huron and Cuckoll Bay City area.
Yep.
Most of it's on the lake, but likely lakeshore area is getting some rain out of that one.
There it is. There's the box. Very large area here in tan. Mentioned penny-sized hail, which would be 0.75 inches in diameter. Despite the fact that there was 1-inch hail falling with this storm, they have not optioned for the warning. Now, again, this includes locations such as Osneek, Harrisville, Lincoln, Spruce, Black River, Harrisville State Park, Lost Lake Woods, Hubbard Lake, Barton City, and Negwegon State Park. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. And that is, again, over in northeast lower Michigan to the north of Harrisville. Most of these storms are going to continue off to the east, east-northeast, so Harrisville should be rather spared unless we get more development off to the back, to the west. But at the current time, this is all north on US 23, mainly near Black River. Also going to shout out our first super chat of the stream, Deborah, becoming a member for month number 10 here, saying thank you, MSC, for everything you do. No problem. Appreciate you very much for supporting operations and becoming a member for another month. If you'd also like to become a member, feel free to hit that join button at the bottom of the screen if you're watching on YouTube.
Joel, I got a delayed damage report out of Huron County from the last severe storm we prompted us to go live.
Yeah.
There's several trees down. Looks like farm equipment tipped over. And just overall, quite a bit of tree damage. I'm trying to get an exact location. Just outside Owendale, to be exact.
Interesting. That'd be where the hail was falling earlier, right?
Yeah. Also, looking at the latest scan of the Alcona County cell, still very shocked there's no warning for Northeast Alcona. Lost Lake Woods, between Lost Lake Woods and Lincoln, there is a very potent hail core here that is still hanging out, as that's going to push toward Alcona, and again, Lost Lake Woods here. Very surprised there's no statement, or not statement, but there's a statement that there's no warning on it. So I'm just kind of scratching my head on this. Alpena proper right now, you guys are just getting some rain showers. That storm, luckily, if you look on your radar here on the screen, it was pretty potent, but as it continues to push your direction, it has weakened out considerably. There's some heavier rain in there, but I wouldn't suggest any imminent threat for large hail this time. That could change, though.
That is why at the beginning of the stream we did mention the fact that this was looking very powerful, but in 20 minutes time it will probably fizzle out because it's storms that are billowing up and collapsing very, very quickly today. And so we said, Lachine, you just got to roll the punches, but after Lachine it'll probably collapse on itself, and that's exactly what it did. That storm is now just a heavy rain shower with no warning on it as it heads down M32, about 5 to 6 miles away from Alpena at the current time. But again, more cells popping up all around the vicinity. Lost Lake Woods especially continues to back build, Ryan, and we have a new cell that continues to pop up and show some signs of strengthening now in the southwest corner of Alpena County that could also use a statement soon. Checking in on the 3D slice for this cell, that has a scattered hail core broken up in spots up to about 20,000 feet, and that'll continue to develop over the next couple of minutes. Realize it's still on Ryan's cam there. Again, the cell we're talking about, Lost Lake Woods right there, and southwest Alpena County right there. So south of Hellman, south of Lachine. But the boundary is still spitting off cells to the west in western Montmorency County, eastern Otsego. We'll keep an eye on these cells as they continue off to the east. So Atlanta, Lewiston up next for some heavier rain showers there. Everything downstate right now not currently strong or severe. Just watching one cell over the Saginaw Bay. We're watching a couple of rain showers in the Genesee and Lapeer County areas that have continued to fizzle out. Otherwise, all the action is located up in northern Michigan. Go ahead and zoom in on our correlation coefficient again just to see how big the hail core is, and it is fairly wide. Anywhere we see these yellows and greens mixing into the rest of the reds and the pinks, which is the uniform objects, which is raindrops. So the hail is going to be indicated by these yellows and greens, as mentioned. That is where the hail's at, and primarily traveling. All of these roads have no name. That is perfect. Lost Lake Trail.
Lost Lake?
Yeah, Lost Lake Woods, essentially. The vicinity of Lost Lake proper is the best chance for some hail right now. Also traveling east down Sucker Creek Road near Somers Road and crossing over a large north to south road of Barlow Road. So if it's not hail, at the very least, it's going to be a very torrential downpour. Very big torrential downpour. Anywhere you see these pinks, those are some very large rain droplets, probably the size of your thumb or bigger. Checking on velocity, since I haven't done that in a little bit, just to see how the winds are doing. Tiny little core over road that has no name in southwest Alpena County.
What road are we looking at here?
They're just a bunch of two-track trails in southwest Alpena County.
I'm just trying to help you out here.
They don't have a name. They're all backcountry trails. I'm hovering over all the roads that they should pop up names, and they're not. There's South Road, very southwest corner of Alpena County. That is where the heaviest of winds would likely be with a downburst there. That is quickly going to be approaching M65. Otherwise, the wind-wise, there's not a whole lot going on. I think it's just mainly a hail threat. We love road that has no name. Makes it harder for everybody here. What's going on in Bay City? Not a whole lot. Just a shower, strong shower. It's just offshore, kind of sitting over the Saginaw Bay and just dumping. It's literally just sitting there, doing nothing. Slowly moving off to the east at about 2 miles per hour, and as that continues off to the east about 2 miles per hour, that'll head towards Seaboing and Unionville and the Thumb, if it can stay together. So nothing to be concerned about there. Just a nice heavy downpour with some cloud-to-ground lightning. So that was in Lachine, that 2-inch hail report then.
Yeah.
Got it. Now you may be asking yourselves, do we have any weather cameras up here? The answer is not really.
We have some spots that have inquired. Nothing yet has been installed. So potentially very soon.
Yes. For those who might be tuning in to our page for the first time, we have a weather camera network of about 30 cameras now that we are setting up, and soon to be producing 24/7 coverage on our YouTube channel. And right now most of our cameras are located in southern and central Michigan. So if you would like to become a sponsor here at MSC and have your business out for millions of people, in return, feel free to contact Ryan below me. His email is ryan@michiganstormchasers.com. We are looking for camera locations across northern Michigan if you would like to sponsor a camera. But our closest camera to northern Michigan, Ryan, is...
Wolverine.
Yeah, technically Wolverine. It's our only one up there, other than Manistee, I believe. So, and Wolverine is behind the boundary, and the camera is facing north, so not currently a view on any of these storms.
Yeah, I'm looking here. Honestly, even with our current potential camera sponsors up there, there's nothing in the Alpena, Hillman, down to Alcona area. So that's an area of need that we currently have.
Indeed. And there is a lot of good viewing terrain out there in central and southern Alpena County, nice and flat. So if you are out here, Lachine, Alpena, Osneek, even down towards Alcona County, Osco County, any view is a good view. If you'd like to become a camera sponsor, again, that email is ryan@michiganstormchasers.com. But yeah, no cameras in Alpena at the current time. Is that correct, Ryan?
That is correct. Do you want me to show the map right now?
If you would like to, yeah.
Let me share it over.
We have a little bit of a downtime here. Again, strong thunderstorm still rolling through northeastern Alcona County, kind of stationary over Lost Lake Woods.
So the map I'm going to pull up here is going to be a map of locations that we may potentially have cameras in the future. I have it live if you want to take it, Joel.
Okay.
And as you can see, we have plenty here in South Michigan. We have a ginormous gap up here by Mount Pleasant. Also up here by Cadillac, Manistee, Glen Arbor area. Have a nice hole here. Got some up here in the northern part of Michigan that have reached out to us. But if you notice over here by Alpena and all the way up here toward Rogers City and south toward Long Rapids and Mankato and Harrisville, Alcona areas, there's nothing over here. So we could definitely use some camera sponsors. Anywhere you see really a gap on this map, we could use sponsors for cameras. So,
indeed. I noticed your Lenawee County is very barren, Ryan. Does that have to still be updated a little bit?
So this map, once we have cameras installed, we take it directly off of the map.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
It's not cluttered. So
makes
the
sense.
existing cameras, I can show you that map if you want to see existing cameras.
Yeah, I'll let you pull that up. Oh. Gaylord is seeing our hail reports right now, I can tell.
See that. You can take my screen back.
Okay.
There are the existing cameras. Everything in green here. So if you think of that map, we have Lansing as a need, Mount Pleasant, Bay City, Tri-City area. The Thumb is a big need here. Coldwater. But we do have some cameras coming in here. Like you saw the other map, we have a lot of potential future cameras coming. Just got to coordinate a little bit more of that. As you can see here, northern Michigan is definitely a wasteland. So.
Yes. Get any clear view of the sky, preferably a western view or northern view. We like to use the cameras for aurora as well, which right now we are in solar maximum, so to speak. So again, if you have a north view or a west view, I mean, we'll take honestly any view. But yeah, that is our camera network. We are quickly expanding on, especially across southern and central Michigan. But if you live in northern Michigan or know anybody up there in northern Michigan, even in the UP, that has a good location for cameras, again, contact Ryan. His email is ryan@michiganstormpictures.com. Back to the weather. Special weather statement continues for Alcona County and southeastern Alpena till about 7:45. It's about 8 more minutes on that. Another cell that has continued to develop is pretty much the entire size of southwest Alpena County now, but it's mainly rain. VIL says there's a decent core on it, but it's not the biggest core like we saw earlier. Go ahead and 3D slice this behind the scenes. Core is up to about 23,000 feet in one spot, so not the tallest compared to what we saw earlier with that cell that was riding down M32 on near Lachine, I should say. Can you hear a fan? It's probably my PC running the streaming software. or Ryan, yeah. I honestly can't hear the fan, Ryan.
Good, it's gonna stay on. That cell is still hanging out in Bay City, literally just riding that shoreline. It's kind of crazy. Just hanging out there.
So the story is everyone but West Michigan can get rain. Unfortunately, if you're watching from West Michigan, it appears that tonight is not your lucky night once again. We'll have to see if that short fused MCS, as I keep calling it, does come to fruition overnight. But if that does not happen, then we have to kind of wait and see for probably closer to the Saturday time frame for showers and storms. I know it sucks. It's going to be on the weekend, but again, the weather does not run on a schedule. New statement coming in for another 25 minutes. This is for Alpena and Alcona again.
Any size hail.
It is going to be that cell that is... I'll take your radar back, Ryan, because I'm sure yours will pop in first before me.
Mine have not been popping in at all.
Are you on Allen House feed or no?
I haven't changed my feed.
Okay. Because I noticed on Radar Scope, which is a phone app, by the way, for everyone who's wondering, I had it on Allen House today, and it was not working.
I need a key for that, apparently. Thank you for editing that last post.
Yep, I got you.
I'm just speeding through things.
Yeah, you're good. So go back to my radar here and check out the new special weather statement, which is this box. It's tan box off to the northwest of the first one. It's in effect till 8:15, as mentioned, so about 25 minutes. Says at 7:39 Eastern, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm over Osneek Township, or 7 miles west of the town of Hubbard Lake, moving east at 25 miles per hour. Penny-sized hail is the only hazard, and this will include this box includes Osneek itself, the town of Hubbard Lake, Spruce, Osneek Township, Hubbard Lake, and Devil's Lake. So Hubbard Lake and the village of Hubbard Lake at the same time. Again, this is in effect till 8:15 for penny-sized hail, which is 0.75 inches in diameter, so just below severe limits. Looks like the greens and the blues are starting to increase a little bit here, and that hail core is indeed showing signs of that coming down. And look what we have here again, some DBZ values in the blacks, which are about 65 and higher. And radar uses DBZ for measurement. Again, the more intense DBZs are shown in the reds and pinks, even into the blacks, which, as a reminder, means the larger the raindrop sizes are in this storm. So when you have these blacks on radar, that's going to be probably raindrops, as I keep mentioning, the size of probably your thumb. And when you have raindrops that size, they're more susceptible to freezing really easily, becoming super cooled liquid and turning into ice crystals that keep bumping into each other and turn into hailstones. So that is what is ongoing right now in southern Alpena County as this heads towards Osneek itself. We'll be skimming by Hubbard Lake and north side of Hubbard Lake, the lake. I just realized that, Ryan, on GR2, I don't know how I didn't notice this before, but there's Hubbard Lake up here and Hubbard Lake down here. It's very interesting.
Kind of like Milford on Red or Omega. There's 2 Milfords that pop in. My screen sharing, just for reference.
Yeah.
There's a Milford downtown. If you scroll a bit south, there's another Milford right down here.
Interesting. One might be a township, as we kind of concluded earlier.
Probably. Yeah.
Double rainbow, constant thunder in Bangor Township near Bay City State Park. Thank you for that report, Lindsay. If you want to share that in our non-severe weather reports page on Facebook, feel free to join our group, Michigan Storm Community. Make sure you answer those questions when you join the group. It's like 3 of them, very quick. And then drop it in the chat with your location, of course. We'd love to see it. To get any fair weather posts, type this in on Facebook, Michigan Storm Community. Those 3 words. As soon as you join, feel free to submit your rainbow reports. We'd love to see that. Northern Hubbard Lake is the town. The lake itself is Hubbard Lake. However, that is true. So the town is up here to the north, but lakes are not labeled on my radar software. So it is depicting this neighborhood down here on the south side of the lake as Hubbard Lake as well. So fun fact.
Bacchus Beach. Bacchus Beach.
Is that what that Hubbard Lake is down there?
Yeah, that's why I have it on Red or Omega. It's going to be
see.
West Shore Drive,
Gotcha.
Mount Maria, and Bacchus Beach.
Yeah, for some reason that has it as Hubbard Lake on mine. Very weird. So the town is to the north, which is going to be impacted by this strong thunderstorm. So if you are in that tan box on the screen, you're in that special weather statement. Respect the polygon. Take shelter. Even if there's no winds and no hail, you can still be struck by lightning. 1 strike and you're out, as they like to say. It's not like baseball. You get 3 strikes and you're out. only a couple people have survived with 2 strikes of lightning. If you get struck by lightning once, you are basically toast. So do not take that risk. If you hear thunder roars, go indoors. So that core is now pretty much all to the east of M65. So if you're east of M65 now, that is the main concern for the cell. If you're to the west and still in the special weather statement, you're pretty much outside of that cell. Our GR2 indicator here says upwards of 2.25-inch hail could be falling in this location. Would not be surprised given what we've been seeing tonight. However, the 3D slice of, well, never mind. I've checked one scan before, and now I've checked the latest scan. Ryan, that hail core is up at 33,000 feet now.
Both of these storms are at or over severe criteria based on radar alone. Lost Lake Woods. Sorry, your audio's cutting out.
No, you're good. I would cut myself off.
Yeah, Lost Lake Woods as well as this storm. There's no towns it's over, but just east of 65 there, that northern cell. Both these cores are over severe criteria based on radar data alone. So again, I don't show any statements in effect. I think there are statements in effect though for both these storms. Am I wrong on that, or am I right?
There's a statement on the north one. The one in the south has expired.
Okay. Well, these storms, the cores are localized. There it
Severe
is.
thunderstorm warning.
We're going $half size hail, and that is the only hazard. That is well deserved as the warning there. And that will be posted. Give me a second. I'll get the graphic up. There it is. Warning is going to be in effect for the northern part of Alcona and the southern part of Alpena County for 42 minutes. That puts it roughly at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time for an expiration. Again, that's going to be Alcona and Alpena counties.
So if you're in that new orange box, go ahead and pause it here on the screen. Check my radar back here. 8:30 p.m., $half size hail. 7:47, severe thunderstorms. It has it plural, Ryan. Severe thunderstorms were located along the line extending from Osneek Township to Lincoln, which is both of those storms, moving east at 15 miles per hour. So some flooding is possible. Impact says damage to vehicles is expected. Locations impacted by the severe thunderstorm. This line of severe thunderstorms includes Osneek, Harrisville, the town of Hubbard Lake, Lincoln, Spruce, Black River, Osneek Township, Lost Lake Woods, Hubbard Lake itself, in Negwagon State Park. For your protection, move into your room on the lowest floor of the building. 1.25-inch hail is $half size. I think I might have said 1.5-inch, but 1.25-inch diameter hail, and potentially larger with this duo of storms.
Also want to thank the viewers who are watching us. Your reports have just got confirmed.
Yep.
Via NWS Gaylord, a 2-inch hail report in Lachine. That's posted on our page. So thank you to, I forgot the name on that, Ashley. Thank you to Ashley for allowing us to post that picture and send that off to NWS Gaylord. That is now confirmed as Henegg, or equivalent to 2-inch diameter hail. We'll take back my radar here for a second, Joel. These cores, turning on the hail tracker, these cores are very, very potent. This is just east of Hubbard Lake, basically directly over Lost Lake Woods. It's going to be right along 41 here, North-South Road. Going to be moving toward Alcona, but again, these storms are short-fused. I think that's a term of the day, short-fused. These storms are very short-lived in nature, so the odds of it actually impacting like Black River, Alcona, I would say are kind of on the lower end of things, just because they're pulse. They go up very quickly and they die very quickly, and they're not moving very fast at all. So it's going to take a while for them to get to you. So if you're over here in Alcona or over here in Black River, along US 23 here, of course there's potential for the storm to meander your direction, but it's pretty much stationary as it is right now. And where it is stationary at is directly over Lost Lake Woods. That is not a situation there. That's a pretty populated area. If you zoom in here, these are all houses in Lost Lake Woods, and that is a very populated area. This is basically impacting. So this is going to be likely a bad situation here for the people of and around the Lost Lake Woods area. Likely $half, if not a bit larger size hail falling. But also this storm up here in the southern part of Alpena County. There's no city around. Oh wow, that latest scan really just
Brian,
increased
that
the
is up to
DBZ on that.
37,000 feet in that hail core and a 3-inch
That
hail
is
marker now. 4-inch hail
that is
marker,
insane.
actually.
That's the biggest I've seen.
Never seen that.
4.24. That is insane. Good thing. I mean, there's probably still isolated houses out here, but there's no major populated centers here in this area. But Hubbard Lake, just to the south of what's the nearest town? Spratt, Huron, and McHarg. Basically just north of the Alcona County line, just west of Hubbard Lake. That is a insane hail core on this cell. That is likely. Would not be shocked if it's upgraded to a considerable warning, Joel, based on that latest scan. That is insanity.
I'm going to go ahead and get a radar post out.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I got you. I'm just texting Chandler real quick.
Yeah. You hear clickety-clack.
Yeah, this is a very intense 2 pair of storms. And if we animate this, zoom out and animate this, this is moving very slowly. So I also want to take note that we could have some flash flooding potential in very localized areas that are impacted here, especially the Lost Lake Woods areas, as that is going to be the area of most population. Also down here by Lincoln, although the majority of the rain is just north of the town of Lincoln down here. But this is one of the bigger... Yeah, VIL's just maxed out. This is one of the bigger storms, hail producers, we're probably going to see this year. I just said this, I think last Sunday for the UP. I think the largest hail marker I saw was like 3.8 or something. This beats it. This is at 4.2. That's the largest that I've seen personally, and probably will see for quite some time. This is not a storm to mess around with. If you live in the southern part of Alpena County or the northern part of Alcona County, in particular just to the west of Hubbard Lake, this is a storm to take very, very seriously. You see the black here on the radar. That is indicative of very, very large hail or raindrops in some cases, but in this case, very large hail falling with this particular storm. The warning continues for $half size hail for this very far southern part of Alpena and the very far northeastern part of Alcona counties. Wouldn't be shocked to get this upgraded to a golf ball size or perhaps larger warning here. I'm going to take a zoomed in look here. Are there any houses in this particular area? I don't see any. There's some roads here. Yeah, there actually are some houses. That is not good. There are some houses right there in the center of that hail core. These little squares. That's not good. So there is some populated areas here, just off of M65 here west of Hubbard Lake. Also not going to forget you guys down here in Lost Lake Woods along 41 here. Hail core stretches from Lost Lake Woods down to about Lincoln. That's going to be the purple and some gray and black showing up here. New report coming in earlier near
new information.
Considerable
this severe thunderstorm warning has been upgraded.
We're at lime size hail. Lime size hail on this new warning. But there is a report via, I think this is probably ours as well. Look, yeah, this is ours. So again, one of the reports earlier from you guys is getting confirmed near Spruce, hail of quarter size, via /Twitter. Now, on to the latest information. This warning has just been upgraded to a lime size hail, which is considerable tagged. Now, destructive tag starts at baseball, so we're not close or not quite there yet. But not every day here in Michigan you see a lime size hail severe warning. It is considered considerable, so it's level 2 out of 3 on the warning scale. So it's very serious here. We've already talked about areas impacted. Now, if you are in the area impacted here, it's best to get inside, away from windows, and to the basement if you have a basement. If you don't have a basement, get to the interior part of your house. Just get away from windows and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Just think of limes getting thrown at your house or your windows. They're going to break, unfortunately. Roofs are going to be damaged. Siding is going to be damaged. Your cars are going to be damaged if you are getting impacted by these storms. It's just not a situation here. So again, if you live in the northern part of Alcona or the southern part of Alpena counties, this storm means serious business. Latest scan continues this trend of probably close 70 dBz on this. Yeah, 71 dBz. That is very intense of of a core here animating this radar. You're going to see the movement on this is east and a little bit south here. It's going to cross over into the northern part of Alcona County very shortly. This is a very potent storm here. And again, lime-sized hail. Was that observed or radar indicated? Just out of curiosity. Radar indicated 2-inch hail. And that is, again, northern part of Alcona and southern part of Alpena counties. This warning continues for 34 more minutes. Expiration time of 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. GR2 hail indicator is 2.91 inches now, so it came down a bit, but still, it's very large. Again, that is an AI guesstimate. It's not a real report by any means. But this storm, you can see here on radar just the overall nature and the look of the storm. Every time you see a big, bright purple or pink, or in this case, black core on these storms, that likely means we have some hail, in this case, very large hail falling. So this is, again, considerable warning now in effect till 8:30 p.m.
Over to my screen here. It's a little more more intense looking on my color scale, but you can see exactly, as we mentioned, anywhere where the pinks turn to blacks, that's usually when we start to see the hail threat really increase. Obviously, use a bunch of different other radar products, such as our correlation coefficients, which you can really see that on correlation coefficient. Anywhere where you see these yellows and greens within the storm, that is all hail. It's non-uniform meteorological objects tumbling around the atmosphere. Anything that's in the pinkish red is just uniform objects, so just raindrops. So there's a very large hail core right now that is very close to the town of Hubbard Lake in rural portions of Alpena County, Casal Road specifically. Again, 2-inch hail likely falling, and this warning, as mentioned by our bottom bar, has been upgraded to considerable. Here on my GR2, you can see this considerable warning is indicated by an orange box with a red outline on it now, and this goes all the way down towards Harrisville and Lost Lake Woods, as these are two separate cells producing some large hail. Not only that, there could be some gusty winds in here as well. In fact, the storm in Lost Lake Woods has an elevated mezzo on it, Ryan, and so there's a little bit of rotation on this storm as it heads into Lost Lake Woods and eventually off towards Lincoln. So a couple of cells, both with a considerable severe thunderstorm warning tag on it for the possibility of 2-inch hail or larger falling in this location. So again, this is a very serious situation, I would have to imagine, for portions of Alpena and Alcona County. So if you know anyone up here right now, feel free to spread the word as much as possible, as this is, again, 2-inch hail will cause damage, significant damage to at least vehicles and, of course, your roofing and siding.
Yeah, yes. I actually have a different color table pulled up. It kind of gives you a better idea of where that hail core actually is. It's not already pretty obvious, but the pinks here, that's where you see your very, very intense hail. You can see it's very localized in nature. The whole storm spans, pretty wide, but in that storm, it's just a very small portion that's producing hail. This is not a good situation here. It's luckily not populated. But this is still affecting some homes and some businesses in this general area. Lost Lake Woods still being impacted by the hail core there. Anybody here in chat from this area? Just out of curiosity, do you have any viewers up here from Alcona or Alpena counties being impacted by this storm? I'm going to go ahead and check out our reports page as well, just to double check.
Yeah, mods, if you are watching here, keep an eye on the reports page as well. We appreciate that. If any of our
pending.
Got it.
Sorry, go ahead.
If anyone is on our Discord channel and wants to tag me as well in any of our damage reports, feel free to do that as well. It's the current time we're watching our reports page. Lincoln is having the county fair right now. Yes, I'm in Harrisville. That's not good. This storm continues to set. Yeah, this storm continues to sag a little bit south towards Lincoln. I'm gonna actually figure out where the fairgrounds are here. Actually, Ryan.
Yeah, Harrisville's over here.
And Lincoln is a little bit off to the west of that, to the north and west.
Probably right there.
Yep.
This is school, maybe.
Yeah, and again, they are in that warning box, so you should be taking shelter if you are at the Elkona County Fairgrounds, I presume is what it's called there. Very,
I don't know
very.
if that's a school or that's the fairgrounds. I don't know. It's just a circle.
I'm pulling it up right now.
There's nothing labeled on the map here
Yep.
for fairgrounds.
That is the fairgrounds.
Okay. So
there.
yeah, you technically are in the warning there, and this hail core is actually moving your direction very slowly. So, yeah, you guys should be taking shelter in a sturdy structure immediately. And with this as well, there is lightning as a concern too. So you guys should be indoors either way. So if you're not indoors, get to a sturdy structure immediately. This is a severe warning in effect here for you guys. And luckily, I think the second storm back here, the worst of the two storms, is going to probably, I mean, I can't say it's going to miss you. It is heading your general direction. But this storm up here, they're moving so slow, you got some time to react. So react now, so you don't have to later. So take shelter now, if you're at the fairgrounds there in Alcona County. This core back here, Joel, continues to be quite impressive in nature.
Mm-hmm.
This is heading toward Hubbard Lake, and once again, Larson Beach, Bacchus Beach, Bruce, and Lost Lake Woods, if this continues on its southeast track. And I will say, this actually has some movement to it. The second storm has picked up some speed here, as it does continue to push east and south. 3D scan on this, get an idea of how tall that core is. Easily 25.
30. I have 35K, Ryan, on mine.
I got 31. I'm going up still. Yeah, it looks like 30, 35 or so. That's about what it is.
I'm going to go ahead and read off some roads here that this hail core is on. Again, this is on the Elkona-Alpena County line right now, kind of the south-central portion of Alpena County. It's pretty much over Bart's Road near Scott Road. The entirety of Bart's Road from about 2 miles north of the county line down to the county line. A lot of these roads out here are not named, unfortunately. So again, these are very rural portions of northern Elkona and southern Alpena counties within the vicinity of the town of Hubbard Lake. So Hubbard Lake points to the west, so about 1 or 2 miles to the west of Hubbard Lake. And then the lake itself, which is in Elkona County. If you are boating out there, you should definitely not be. But that is a very large lake with a lot of houses surround it. Shore Drive on the west side of the lake and Bear Springs, it is heading for both of those roads that go on the east and west side of the lake. So again, primarily the north side of the lake right now, but again, this storm does have some speed on it, as Ryan mentioned. It's going to continue to head off to the southeast, down pretty much paralleling the lake as it heads down towards Lost Lake Woods. So very...
Go ahead and continue the... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, this is a very powerful storm. You do not want to be out in it tonight. Go ahead.
They continue the warning. They trimmed it back just a bit. Looks like lime-sized hail, a.k.a. 2-inch diameter. And it looks like the population, according to NWS, in this warning is 5,700 people. That's the rough population estimate. So it's a pretty populated area considering the rural, new dictionary word, rural areas of northern Michigan. The latest scan does look like the hail core on that second storm is weakening just a bit, but now it appears it's about to undergo a merger here in the northern part of Alcona County. So again, mergers, while we can never rule out anything funky happening, they typically either kill a storm or they strengthen it. So we'll see what happens if these two storms merge. Also, Joel, looking at velocity, probably some pretty gusty winds within this storm.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a easily gusty storm here. Yeah, that CC is just insane. Check out the VIL. VIL continues to be maxed out. The good news with this cell down here just west of Alcona is the hail core on that one appears to be weakening. The bad news is this one is still chugging along and it is weakening. It appears to be on the latest scan, but with the cell merger now imminent, I'd have to imagine this is going to be an interesting situation in the next 5 or 10 minutes.
These are some very powerful mesos. As mentioned, some of these cells are exhibiting some broad rotation up in the upper levels. It's not really mixing to the ground. But when we have these upper level mesos like that, it is usually a sign of a very strong and tall storm. The taller the storm, the more instability you can tap into, and the more you can develop some hail. This cell, if I go down to the Grand Rapids radar, I'm sure this will probably show the tops of it. Or maybe not. I might have to go to a different radar.
I got 52,000 on my end.
From which radar?
Gaylord.
Okay. Mine's undershooting it, so I can't really tell.
Close to about 52,000 off DTX as well.
Got it. So these cells are continuing off to the southeast. A little bit of oomph on them. Heading right down Hubbard Lake, cell number 1 to the west. And cell number 2 over Lost Lake Woods at the current time, and Harrisville. Another concern, of course, is the flash flooding that is possible through this area. Again, a lot of rain falling no matter what. Ryan, how does the rainfall look on these storms so far? Just to check in on it real quick.
Whoops, wrong one. Hold on, I gotcha. So far, so good. Looks like a couple areas between about an inch or so, but nothing too excessive. About an inch or so in spots.
That's good. The good news is these storms
looks like there's some forward movement to speed.
Yeah, I was about to say that. These aren't really training compared to cells we've been seeing throughout the last couple of weeks, especially in southeast Michigan. They have not caught in a break in terms of training cells down there. But these cells do have a little bit of eastward propagation to it, which is a good sign that the won't rain over the same location. I will say this, though, on the loop of the last half hour, Lost Lake Woods seems to be developing over the exact same spot, the one you circled there.
Yep, they are getting hammered here, and I'm kind of curious. We have a merger coming in here, and probably a potential merger coming in here as well. So we might have a big blob of rain here in Alcona County very shortly. This warning continues for lime-size hail. That's 2-inch in diameter. So that's trying to equate that. I mean, lime is a good measuring. I'm trying to think of something similar to that. Larger than golf balls, that's for sure. Likely earlier, at least, likely had limes, if not larger than lime-size hail. But the good news is it's very sparsely populated, so we're probably not going to get too many confirmations, if any confirmation, out of this storm. Lost Lake Woods, I know, is pretty populated. I know they had a hail core over them for several minutes. So if you happen to have family, friends, or if you live in the Lost Lake Woods area and you have reports, feel free to let us know via direct messenger or in our comment section, not on this post or this stream, because we cannot see your photos or videos. But if you want to message us or drop a comment on another post, you are more than welcome, if not encouraged, to do that.
Yeah, no problem, Al. For those who are new here, again, we have a lot of new people watching tonight out of Northern Michigan. Welcome. Thank you guys for finding us. A little bit about us real quick while we have a quick moment. Again, we've been established since 2022, and we really started doing our live streams in 2023, Ryan, if I correct me if I'm wrong, mid-2023. And ever since then, we have not missed a severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning in the entire state, no matter the day. So we are on a roll here, and we cover all 83 counties in the state of Michigan. So if you are a new channel follower, and I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzman, you got the president right below me, Ryan, and we are Michigan Storm Chasers. Feel free to follow along. We are live. Another concern, of course, is, hey, I don't have this sort of account or that sort of account. Like, hey, I'm on Facebook, but my friends are not. The good news is we're live on multiple platforms. So we are live on Facebook. That is our #1 platform to follow us on. That is closing in on about 500,000 followers there. We're also live on YouTube. Again, you don't need an account to watch on YouTube, so that's going to be the easiest. Feel free to subscribe if you do have an account on YouTube. And alternatively, we are on X and Twitch TV as well, which are some of our lesser known platforms. But we are live on those accounts as well if you have an account on either of those. So 4 different platforms you can watch us on live: YouTube, Facebook, Twitch TV, and X. So again, thank you guys for finding us if you're new here. And we will stay live, as our policy states, from beginning to end for all severe weather. And again, we will not be turning off this stream until this warning expires. The good news is,
Speaking
Ryan,
of the warning,
it has downgraded. I saw the red box, the red outline on my screen. It went away. It's now back down to a black outline. That is because it's now from a level 2 back down to a level 1 severe thunderstorm warning for ping pong ball sized hail. So it's 1.5 inches in diameter. It's still pretty large. That can cause damage. And damaging winds underneath 50 miles per hour. The storm is moving east at 10 miles per hour. These set of storms are moving east at 10. I am surprised they don't have a damaging wind threat within this severe thunderstorm warning, considering the fact there's a little bit of higher velocities in there. But again, hail is by far the biggest concern. As you look at CC, Ryan, and there's just so much greens and blues mixing in still. Pretty much all up and down the west side of Hubbard Lake, the lake itself. So very quickly approaching or on Shore Drive, south of the town of Hubbard Lake. Main core is still kind of on the Alpena County line, over a bunch of roads that have no names, and Bart's Road. So we wish we could name off some roads here, but a lot of these, as you guys know, that live up here, mainly backcountry trails, 2-track roads. A lot of them are F roads as well that do not show up on here. So again, if you are familiar with this area, you're doing yourself a great service for yourself. Knowing where these storms are located. Otherwise, again, this is near the town of Hubbard Lake and the lake of Hubbard Lake itself, heading pretty much down in parallel to the body of water. One of our mods, Julie here, says MSC is always watching. That is 100% true.
Yep.
Also over on YouTube, real quick shout out to Evan with the 5 gifted memberships. So if you are a subscriber here on YouTube, which is free to do, check your account. You had a chance at previously being gifted a membership courtesy of Evan. So thank you, Evan. As a reminder, this warning is in effect till 8:30, so still got about another 16 minutes on it. 1.5 inch hail, less than 50 mile per hour winds. And that merger is ongoing as we speak. The cell from the west has caught up to the cell that is warned. We'll have to see if this adds a little bit of oomph to it. At the current time, it is still ongoing. It's merged. That hail core, by the way, is up around 29 to 30,000 feet still, according to my radar behind the scenes. I really wish it would show the 3D scan when I circled over it, but alas. I don't even think it lets me switch to that window either. Oh, it does. There we go. It wasn't before, but now it is. So this is what I mean by 3D scan. So our radar software, this is called GR2, Gibson Ridge 2 Analyst, and we can take a 3D slice of the storm. And what I did is, there's another screen you can't really see here on the bottom left corner, but I can highlight certain DBZ values in the storm. DBZ values about 55 and higher is usually where hail forms, and so what we do is we pick out the pinks instead of the blues through reds, and that kind of shows us where this hail core is at. As you can see, if you kind of bring it down to eye level here, there's their 30,000 feet line. The top of that core reaches up to 30,000 feet, and remember, the higher you go in the atmosphere, the closer to freezing or over freezing it gets. So when we have these pinks that are up above 15,000, 20,000, even towards 30,000 feet, that is all in the freezing level, and all that heavy rain, those bigger droplets are turning into supercooled liquid, turn in and kind of combine with each other and turn into hail. So yeah, it looks like a magma chamber. Exactly, it does. That is a good explanation here, but this is a 3D volume scan of the cell above the ground. So it's very, very cool what we have. Again, this is GR2. It's radar software on your PC that you can get, and that's what we look at when we're looking at hail cores behind the scenes. So very, very cool. I'll have to make sure to remember to use that from now on when I'm checking that out. Because before it was not letting me. It was not letting me toggle to that.
New SWS for northern and eastern Alpena counties. Nickel size hail is your threat there. That includes Alpena proper.
That is a separate cell. Oh, it popped up directly over downtown.
Yep.
VIL core on that is right in the bay, right over downtown. So nickel size is 0.88 inches, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 0.12 inches below severe. So it's basically, you can consider that a severe warning for downtown Alpena. It's very, very close without being that itself. Correlation coefficient, there's a little bit of actually a third body scatter spike on this storm. Hail core on this storm is 25,000 feet. Again, we're looking at that 3D slice behind the scenes. That could be producing some 1-inch hail easily as it heads towards the point.
You read my mind.
I did.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, this is heading towards the point there, just offshore of the bay in Alpena County proper. So that is that tan box. That is your special weather statement. Meanwhile, a severe thunderstorm warning continues for Harrisville to the north towards Lincoln, Lost Lake Woods, Black River, and Hubbard Lake as the storm continues to move down the lake itself. So if you know you are in this orange box, you are in a severe thunderstorm warning. So you should be taking necessary precautions. You should be taking shelter inside a sturdy structure, away from trees and away from windows, because again, wind-driven hail is very dangerous. And not only do we have hail, but there are signs of gusty winds in the storm, despite the fact the warning box does not indicate that. So again, you want to be away from these exterior walls, because when trees come tumbling down, they can crush you and they can cause significant bodily harm to you or your loved ones. So sturdy structure, interior room of a house or a business if possible. If you need to relocate, if you're further downstream towards Lincoln and Harrisville, now is that time to take shelter right now. And again, it's better safe than sorry. Even if you don't get the severe weather, if it doesn't pan out and give you severe weather for this area, you'd rather want to be taking that necessary precaution now instead of regretting it at the last second, trying to take shelter then when you're in a downpour or downpouring hail. So again, Lincoln and Harrisville, you still have a little bit of time. That second cell rolls down Hubbard Lake. Not a whole lot of time. Don't wait until the last second. Take shelter now or relocate as possible. Good news is it looks like that merger has not really, I don't want to jinx it, but it doesn't really look like it's really improved it much. In fact, that cell in the 3D scan is now down below 20,000 feet for the hail core.
Hey, Joel, I got an interesting webcam pulled up here from the Alpena Marina, and there is a lot of looking scud here. I'm not sure what direction it's facing. This was as of 8 o'clock, so about 20 minutes ago, as that storm is likely building and rolling in. I'm not sure what direction it's facing, but I'm assuming it's probably back to the southeast or southwest.
It looks like the sun's off to the west there, so this is probably facing southwest.
Yeah, I'd imagine that. That warning was updated further. It's now $half size hail.
So it keeps going down.
Yep, and it's got trimmed back here. So they continued it, not for wind, but for hail. And honestly, a bit surprised there's no wind with this storm. Looking back at your SRV, I was kind of surprised. It looked pretty gusty. That's how I was just reading it. 273 at 10 is the vector.
Southwest, yep, so one of our viewers here says, southwest back into the marina in Alpena.
That's what I thought.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, we're all native Michiganders, but sometimes it does help to have that little bit of extra knowledge, so you guys are awesome. We'd love to see you guys back here again for future weather coverage. So if you haven't followed us yet, again, when it's slow, when we have less viewers in the stream, it's a little bit more personal with you guys, so we're able to kind of chat with you more. Not always will it be like that. Fair warning for you guys here that might not be used to our bigger streams, but in some cases we can have between YouTube and Facebook, Twitch and X upwards of 40,000 people watching at a time. We've had that so far this year on some of our bigger events back in the spring. So keep that in mind. Right now we can be personal with you guys, but as we get bigger streams, that may not be the case. So again, thank you guys so much for being personable with us, and we appreciate all of the help we can get during these streams when, it comes to town name locations, how they're pronunciated, and, camera facing. So thank you guys very much. Again, we do not own that Marina cam. Fair point there. We are still looking for Alpina cams, so if you want to become part of our ever-growing weather network of weather cams, anywhere in Northeast Lower Michigan if you're watching, and if you have a business as well you'd like to promote, again, feel free to send us an email. Again, Ryan's email is ryan@michiganstormchasers.com for all business inquiries. See how that box is continuing to be trimmed back. It's like a new special marine warning coming in.
Yeah, it looks like for the waters off of Alpena,
This blue box
they're
here.
going wind gusts 34 knots or greater and large hail.
Hail 0.75 inches or greater. So for those who are curious for special marine warning, that's essentially a severe thunderstorm warning for the water. You can basically replace that blue box with an orange box. It'd basically be the same thing. That is for large hail moving through Alpena at the current time. GR2 radar indicates over 1.5 inches on here, but I would think these statements probably holding up pretty well, despite the fact that there is a core up to about 28,000 feet on it. I think the statement validates, and most of it's over the water too. So good news there. And that will be offshore within the next 15 minutes. Zooming out the big picture, though, once again, we'll kind of go around the state. There's not a whole lot to report on. We still have that one cell kind of just sitting over the Saginaw Bay, not doing a whole lot. Southeast Michigan in the clear, West Michigan in the clear. Only concerns are up there in Northeast Lower. If we go to the UP, where models had thunderstorms forming today, there are none. So big swing and a miss on the models there. The only storms today.
What a surprise.
Yeah, what a surprise, right?
I had to do that.
The only storms that did come to fruition that were on the models are the storms in Northeast Lower. So something special about Northeast Lower for whatever reason, as of late, cough, cough, the lake breezes, of course. Those did help lift today in this neck of the woods. And that is why we've been seeing some large hail. And again, with how hot it's gotten out there today, steeper lapse rates result in larger hail and more instability we can get. And the closer the freezing level is to the ground, a bunch of different factors come in to get this large hail, and those factors came together just enough today to produce some significant hail in Alpena County. Again, 2-inch hail, confirmed report from Lachine earlier in Alpena County, and likely, I don't know if we'll ever get any reports in from the M65 corridor here in southwest Alpena County, but there was a time for about 10 minutes there where we saw a 4-inch hail marker on our radars. Not saying that was actually happening at the ground, but that was a sign of some very large hail falling around M65 to the west of Hubbard Lake. So if you know anyone out there that might have some hail reports to send in to us, feel free to do so. We'll relay them over to the National Weather Service office in Gaylord as soon as possible so they can put it into their storm database.
I just had somebody reach out to me from Alpena offering to sponsor a camera, so perhaps an Alpena camera coming soon.
Hey, there we go.
Makes me happy.
You guys are awesome. Now, the main concern right now for the storm, by the way, is, besides the one that's actually, Ryan, that hail core has increased a little bit. Not sure if we're going to get a very, very small severe thunderstorm warning for the tiny little point to the east of Alpena, but there's a 2-inch hail marker on that. The main cell right now is in Alcona County, and speaking of cameras, we are looking for Alcona County sponsors, so if you know anyone in Harrisville, Lost Lake Woods, Lincoln, Mikado, Glenny, even towards Hubbard Lake, we'd love to have you reach out to us if you have a business you would like to sponsor as a result. And it goes for all of Northeast Michigan, Montmorency, Oscoda, Ogemaw, Iosco counties as well, if you have any locations in those areas. Again, we're looking for cams for part of our weather camera network, and eventually we'll have these cameras running 24/7 on our YouTube channel, so make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. velocity shows that this is downbursting right now, near the town of Hubbard Lake still.
I saw that when you looked at your SRV last time, and I was shocked there's no wind involved with that warning. Also, like you said before, would not be shocked to see a warning incoming for that Alpina cell. Even though it's almost on the lake, it's still likely going to impact some areas there. I'm not sure if there's an official name for that little jut out of an island just east of Alpina there, but it's going to be impacting that area very shortly, if not right now.
And the center of this core is downbursting too. You can see on velocity there's a little bit of a green on radar there. Bright green should be signs of downburst winds. There are no roads where the center of this, well, there are a couple, but they are not named. They're kind of like, North Point Shores Road along the bay there. So this is about a mile or two to the east of Alpina. So this little jut out. Mikado. Got it. Thank you, guys. The Oscoda County Fair is also going on tonight. Lots of thunder. Oh, no, sorry. Oscoda County Fairview. My bad. Fairview, the city. That would make more sense. Oscoda, again, there's that little cell there to your north, about 3 to 4 miles outside of town. That is going to continue off to the east, southeast. So just giving Fairview a glancing blow for some rain. It's very interesting, Ryan, that cell that was sitting over Lost Lake Woods continued to sit there despite movement in from the west. Probably sitting along some sort of boundary there on the lake. But the cells all behind it caught up to it.
Yeah, with that cell incoming southeast now, that one storm, the original storm out ahead of that dumped a lot of rain and hail over Lost Lake Woods, that's evaporated essentially. But now that secondary storm is now branching off into that same area. I would be kind of concerned there for some flooding, truthfully. Looks like there's a new warning incoming for Alpena County.
Yay, it is.
Very, very small warning incoming. I had to imagine, unless they're going to do the whole entire county, or the southern part of the county at least. Nope, just that one. Ping pong ball size hail at that. So ping pong ball size hail for the northern cell there that is really blossomed the last 5 or 10 minutes. So it's going to go until 8:45, 15 minutes on that warning. Ping pong ball size hail is your hazard. It appears that...
Yeah, I was going to say that warning has been canceled, or has expired to the south. It ran out of time, I believe. Yep. So there's that new severe thunderstorm warning. National Weather Service and Gaylord has issued this for northeastern Alpena County for 15 minutes until 8:45 p.m. At 8:27, a severe thunderstorm was located just northeast of Alpena, moving east at 15. As Ryan mentioned, ping pong ball sized hail. Severe thunderstorm will remain over rural areas of eastern Alpena County. There are no cities in the severe thunderstorm warning. 1.5-inch hail. Traveling pretty much
I also want to mention...
Traveling down Indian Road and Misery Bay Road. Go ahead.
If I take my radar,
yep.
The cell that is currently severe is affecting the very, very small portion of land over here in Alpena County. But if you look back to the west here, there are additional showers and storms that are pushing up toward the Alpena area.
Split.
These are kind of drifting east, a little bit north there. So Alpena proper, you guys may be impacted once again if this continues to drift its way north. But for the most part, this is just stationary. It was pushing to the south and east, and now it's just kind of moving stationary a little bit further to the north and east now, excuse me. So You may have, we're going to call it round 2 incoming for Alpena, or at least area south between Ossinik and Alpena. Thank you to Stevie for messaging us pictures of Mamatis from Greenbush, Michigan. Those are gorgeous. Stevie, if you're watching this, thank you for sending those in to us.
Is it page worthy? Share with the class worthy? Sweet. Yeah, small area of training for sure. There's a boundary actually back off to the west. These storms have just been kind of forming off today. We'll go ahead and switch back to my radar. You can kind of see it better. There was a boundary that's run pretty much up down 75, as well as a boundary that came off of northern Lake Huron, and so both of these boundaries have kind of slid off to the south and east throughout the day, and storms just kind of been firing on that. Good news there is that this boundary is continuing to move south, so areas that have been hit so far are likely not going to get hit the rest of the night, unless the storms continue to train over the same area, which right now is Alcona County and Oscoda County. But another thing to take into mind here is that it is now 8:30, about to turn over to 8:33 p.m. here on August 7th, and sunset is, within about a half hour to an hour. Again, a lot of sunsets are now before 9, and again, before 9 o'clock, that means there's really no instability being fueled from our daytime heating. So these storms will continue to fall apart as we get towards the 9 and 10 o'clock hours. Going to shout out Jacob M. over here on YouTube real quick for also gifting 5 memberships to our YouTube subscribers. Appreciate you, Jacob. Also one of our supporters on Discord as well. Thank you very much. As a reminder, if you have any hail reports to send in, we will take them gladly, and we can toss them over to the National Weather Service in Gaylord so that they may upload them to their database. Feel free to message us, or type in Michigan Weather Reports on Facebook. That is a group page that you can join. As long as you answer those entry questions, you can get right on in and submit those damage reports. And again, time, location, and exact measurement, if possible, for those hail reports. This hail core continues to impress. I believe this is Misery Bay, and this hail core is about 27,000 feet right now. So very isolated locations in eastern and northeastern Alpena County. But if you are on Indian Road and Misery Bay Road, that is where this core is currently over, as well as North Point Road between those 2 roads I just mentioned.
Interesting look on this velocity scan of the cell to the south there.
I have your radar. A little bit.
A little bit. It looks like it's pretty much displaced, but it's very interesting with the way it's now curved. I think it's displaced.
It is a little displaced.
Further south, you're watching from west or south of the northern Michigan area, there is nothing on radar currently. There is a shower that is still hanging out over the Bay City area. It is over Lake Huron, not affecting, I can't say that. It might be affecting areas like Wisner or Bradleyville. Otherwise, there is nothing on radar. This is Detroit's radar. You can see that it's pretty much clear across the state. Here's Grand Rapids radar, again, clear. Here is northern Michigan, just these cells over here. And the UP, there is nothing but a lake breeze showing up here on radar. So currently in the state of Michigan, these are your only storms in the state, and that is why we are not talking about any other areas, because there's nothing happening currently out there. So if we're not talking about your area, in fact, the chat bot just said it, if we're not mentioning your area, you are most likely not an immediate threat. That is usually a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, we have a lot of areas to cover in Michigan, so we may have to bounce back and forth between 5 and 10 minutes. But if you're watching for 10 or 15 minutes and you don't hear us call out your name or your city or anything remotely, I can't talk, anything remotely close to you, you are likely not in immediate danger. So it's usually a good thing.
The majority of
The
that cell,
warning.
the majority
Go
of that
ahead.
cell that's currently warned now in Alpena County is pretty much over that bay at the current time. And as a reminder, our warning for Alcona County, which includes Mykado, Harrisville, Lost Lake Woods, has expired. However, we could see an extension of a warning or a statement here in the coming minutes. Ryan, that is a supercell for sure at the current
Think
time.
so?
Yes. The double check Mezzo here, but I believe that is, yeah, that Hodograph does support supercellular development. So would not be surprised, again, with it being rooted at the surface there, you can tell that where the center of that cell is kind of at, where it's slower than the rest. It does show a little bit of signs of broad rotation in the upper level. So that is an elevated meso, likely a supercell in Alcona County. And that will continue off to the southeast towards, probably Lincoln. It is moving very slowly if it can get to Lincoln. But Lincoln would be next up, as well as Lost Lake Woods. So we'll have to keep an eye on it for a low chance all hazards. There is no tornado. Please do not shout in all caps tornado. Thank you very much.
If you do have a visual of a tornado, feel free to snap a picture and send it to our messenger. That is our quickest way to get a hold of us. Get reports out. Otherwise, we don't really tolerate false reports in our comments.
Yes. Please understand that there's a lot of people that deal with storm anxiety in our state as well, and they do watch these streams. And you are not helping their cause when you do shout false things like that. So please keep that in mind when you are watching these streams. Again, we have moderators on both Facebook and YouTube that will take necessary action if possible. Again, you don't have to chat with us. Speaking here is I guess you could say it's a right. If you disrespect that, then the mods will take action. Now that storm, Alcona County, has a very elongated hail core on it now. It's two hail cores mixed into one. We got Rugs26 over here on YouTube with a $20 super chat saying, "Thank you again for giving Michigan, anywhere, in parentheses, the attention we deserve. Watching big storms and tornadoes are fun on YouTube, but this is our state." Absolutely, that's what we're here for. Thank you very much for your support, Rugs. The $20 super chat. Appreciate your support. And yeah, that's our goal here, covering you from beginning to end for all severe weather in all 83 counties in Michigan. Yes, that does include the UP. So if you have anybody in the UP that follows us, again, we cover them as well.
We'll say the cell all the way back to the west in Oscoda County. The hail core on that storm is actually kind of impressive. It doesn't look too impressive on radar, but it's a very decent core. And I'm actually getting up to, it's over 20,000 feet. It's actually over 27,000 feet. It's going to be over just to the east of Commons, north of Fairview, in the northeast corner of Oscoda County. So likely what that is a hail core that is developing, not quite hailing on the ground yet, or very small hail on the ground, but in the atmosphere, that updraft is very tall and probably trying to produce some larger hailstones. So perhaps a statement or perhaps a warning would be due for this storm in the next couple of minutes, as that, if it continues to trend that way. And in fact, there's a statement incoming for Alcona. I'm assuming perhaps the entirety of it, perhaps the northern edge of it. We'll have to keep an eye and see how this pops in. It's going to be for the lead cell, looks like. Yeah. 34 minutes of wind gusts to 40 and half-inch hail. Fires in 34 minutes puts it right about 9:15, I believe.
Yep.
Am I right on that? Is my math correct?
9:15.
34 minutes? Yeah, 9:15. The good news is our severe storm all but has moved onto Lake Huron. Warning continues for 3 more minutes. It'll likely expire at that time. We got a few pockets of rain showers still on shore, but otherwise the core of that storm is now moved completely onto Huron. Saw a question in chat here about the aurora about a couple minutes ago. At this current time, the solar storm has not yet arrived, but it does appear that we are being influenced by a what's called a coronal hole high-speed stream, and that has gradually started to improve our field, magnetic field. It doesn't look impressive at this time, but it's worth keeping an eye on. The solar storm is expected to arrive sometime around or just after midnight. So we have some time yet. If it arrives quicker, early.
Hey, Ryan. We just had
Yes.
another hail report come in from a viewer in Misery Bay. That would be that severe thunderstorm warning to the east of Alpena. Estimated 2-inch hail from that
Can we
one.
get permission on that?
Yep, already asked.
Thank you.
So from Emily
That is
on our
insane.
severe thunderstorm warning post from east of Alpena. So it looks like Alpena downtown missed the core of that storm, but that is likely 2-inch hail that fell once again in that location.
That's probably one of the larger stones I've seen today.
Yeah, there's another picture. She sent in 2 pictures of hailstones there. So that is very large.
Yeah, that whole thread we posted earlier has some good, looks like golf ball to ping pong, perhaps a bit larger than that too. That's crazy. Where'd you pull that off of?
The hail post, the hail I just saw.
I don't see that.
It's on our severe thunderstorm warning for Alpena County.
Gotcha. Facebook is weird sometimes. It glitches out for me. I don't know if it does for you guys as well, but for some reason, my Facebook, if I don't reload the page, nothing new pops in.
Ryan, I would like to go ahead and take my radar back. There is rotation that is it is strengthening now. This is near Hubbard Lake, west of Hubbard Lake. Unfortunately, I've been giving it a chance to see if it's in weakening, but that is now lining up directly with that hook on the back side of that cell. So that is trying to mix towards the ground, and rotation is increasing on the storm. There is no road names except for Hubbard Lake Trail out here in rural northwestern Alcona County. This is staying stationary in one spot about a couple miles to the west of Hubbard Lake. But the gradual motion on this storm is off to the east-southeast about 15 miles per hour. And it is getting, they're either called mergers or nudgers from the back side of this storm. This is more of a nudger because it's following straight behind into it. And so this could produce something very, very sneaky within the next couple of minutes. Just watching that very, very closely here. Again, there's only a special weather statement on it. But there easily could be a warning for either hail or winds on this one. easily. Hail core up to 33,000 feet on this one again. There's no warning on it.
Yeah, kind of surprised there's no. I mean, there's a statement there. It's for 40s and half-inch.
Yeah.
GR2 indicates hail's 1.28 inches with this storm. But that one off to the west still, that western storm, if you go a little bit west on, I guess it's on your radar there, the very far left side of your screen, that smaller cell still has a nice core on that one. That's still way up there, 25,000+ feet. I'm getting 20, let's go up even higher. Yeah, 28,000 or so. So both of these cells, very potent in nature.
So this is Alcona County in northeast lower. Again, this does show signs of some rotation now to the west of Hubbard Lake, still in Alcona County. No major cities nearby, a lot of roads without names on them. But the majority of the storm is to the east of M65 in Alcona County, northern Alcona County. Severe thunderstorm warning, a tornado is also possible.
So ping pong ball size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and a possible tornado now for the northern part of Alcona County. Also, I believe this is going to be, the warning is actually just literally cut off before the fairgrounds. So keep that in mind too. The fairgrounds is not included in this warning, but you are literally about 3 miles from the edge of the polygon. This storm, if it continues, would be heading your direction very, very slowly. So once again, this is a severe warning. All hazards at this point. Ping pong ball size hail is the main hazard, but damaging winds and also a possible tornado now possible with this storm.
I got the graphic on that.
Want to read the text, Bill? What?
Yeah, I was getting the graphic, but I can do that. National Weather Service in Gaylord has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northern Alcona County at 8:46. Issued until 9:30. 8:46, a severe thunderstorm was located over Coran or 9 miles southwest of the town of Hubbard Lake, moving east at 15. Ping pong ball sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and a tornado are possible with this storm. The storm will be near Hubbard Lake around 8:50 and Barton City around 8:55. Again, tornado possible, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and 1.5 inch hail.
I would not be shocked to get a warning on that one cell to the west too, like I've been mentioning over here, still in the northeast part of Oscoda County. But this is a very potent core now that is likely producing large, if not severe, hail. No warning on that one. Would not be shocked there's one for that soon.
Again, if you are in the path of this storm or know anyone in the path of this storm, please like and share. This is easily a supercell at the current time. Again, it's all by itself, and there's not much inhibiting it off to the south. The only thing that will inhibit the storm as we go on throughout the night is the lack of instability or storm fuel as this storm continues off to the east-southeast at a very, very slow clip. It seems like this storm, Ryan, is actually back building.
Yeah, it's very, very slow moving, if moving at all. Like, I don't think it's moving, period.
Yeah.
This area, Joel, was in our 1% tornado probability today because of the lake breeze.
Yep.
So this would be a massive, not really massive, but it would be a verification if something were to occur here. Luckily, the rotation on this storm is not overly tight. It's there, but it's not tight. Gusty winds and large hail definitely the concern here. Looks like the hail core is going to be directly, again, rural areas. Zoom way in here. This is going to be Hubbard Lake Trail. This is moving pretty much stationary to the east toward Bacchus Beach, Larson Beach. Anywhere really around Hubbard Lake is what we're going to generalize this. Anywhere around or near Hubbard Lake
Hey,
is
Ryan.
going to be in the path of this. Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead and take a look at the severe thunderstorm warning post that was just posted on Facebook. In the comments section from Ben, there is a very distinct lowering, actually, on that storm.
Hey, I also have the original graphic for that too. That was in there.
Oh, really? Where'd
Yeah,
you
if
get
you
it?
go
Where'd you get it
to-
from?
Yeah, if you go to the NWS Severe Storm account on X,
Oh,
you'll grab it from there.
Yeah, that makes sense. My bad.
Yep.
If you want to re-update that, go for it.
I got you.
Thank you. What we're seeing right now on this storm, shout out to Ben. He is north of Curran, the 6472 junction looking northeast. There's a very distinct shelf cloud, but also tucked back in behind the shelf cloud, there's a very distinct wall cloud feature. And I don't, this is very, very close to the ground, Ryan.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm about to click on comments here.
It's going in our G
Oh.
chat.
Yeah. That's
I'm going to forward that to the National Weather Service as soon as possible. Do we have a DM with
I'm
Gaylord?
working on it. I'm working. No, we do not, unfortunately. I'm working on it.
Again, if you have
Trying to
face
figure out what-
6472 junction,
I'm trying to figure that out right now.
or he
There
might have
it is, I
meant
got
he
it.
might have meant 6572.
Yep, I got it. Yep. That'd be the area of interest too. So that is legitimately, I wish we could show that here on stream, but if you guys go to our Facebook page, on our last post for the severe warning, Ben is in the comment section there. It is a gorgeous mothership-like supercell with a shelf cloud and a wall cloud, all in one. It is one of the most gorgeous structures I've seen, probably in Michigan, in a hot second. So this thing is very low to the ground, and I can see why that Tor possible tag is on this storm. So taking this back to radar here, hopefully Ben gives us permission to share. But the rotation actually may be tightening up just not really. Kind of tightening, not really tightening. It's still pretty broad in
Pretty
nature.
broad, yeah.
But it's going to be tucked in the rain here, so likely rain wrapped as well with this storm. The hail tracker, I think the hail is still number one priority with this storm. Again, moving just west of Hubbard Lake. It's stationary. I keep saying moving, but it's pretty much stationary. Back this out and animate it, you can kind of see this is likely going to turn into a flooding risk here as well, as this is one of the second or third storm that's impacted the exact same areas. So again, severe warnings in effect for the northern central part of Alcona County. Your hazard, it's all hazards. It's ping pong ball size hail, so 1.5 inch diameter, 60 mile per hour winds, and it's tagged with a possible tornado, as well as confirmed report, or picture at least, of a mesocyclone wall cloud. And Ben has just gave us permission to share this. So Joel, can you take over while I get this up?
Yep.
Thank you.
I would prioritize getting that over to probably Gaylord right away. Again,
That's my first tag.
yeah. Again, this is still fairly stationary. Again, there's really no roads to really point out other than this is in rural northern Alcona County, just to the west of the Lake of Hubbard Lake itself. It's southwest of the town of Hubbard Lake. And not only is it rotating, producing perhaps 1.5 inch hail and 60 mile per hour winds, but it is putting down a boatload of rain. Rainfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour easily in this location, and this storm will continue to move off to the southeast. Now, at the current time, while there is rotation there, it's still very weak. It is also it is undergoing a sort of a merger process where these cells are all kind of intertwining with each other right now, and we'll see what comes out on top essentially. whatever does come out on top will be the finished product, and we'll have to keep an eye on that. So as you can see, there's still cells pouring in from the west side of the storm. So because we have that ongoing, it is tough to really tell what's actually going to happen until like probably 10 minutes from now. So at the current time, we're just keeping an eye on it, but there is rotation in multiple spots within the cell at the current time, pretty much along and east of M65 to the northwest of Koran. Northeast of Koran. Sorry if I said northwest. Severe thunderstorm
APX has
warning continues. Yep, 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch hail. So they've downgraded the hail from 1.5 to 1, and a tornado possible still within this warning box. Your pictures from Alcona County are much appreciated if it is safe to do so. If you have damage reports, as these storms have come over again, we're always taking hail reports. We actually opened up a hail report thread on our main Facebook page if you want to drop them in there. Again, time and location, and the most important thing, hail size, will be needed for these storm reports, so we can toss those over to the National Weather Service Gaylord. So thank you guys very much for those who have sent them in so far. We're still looking for more, so you could kind of validate some of these storms that have fallen, or some of these storms that have happened tonight and have produced hail that has fallen across northeast lower Michigan.
Photo is up on our Facebook, X, and Threads, and Instagram if you guys want to go see it.
Perfect. That is just some marvelous structure there. Go ahead.
Yeah, the good news is rotation via radar has broadened out significantly. Like the organization of the storm has kind of went down the wayside the past couple of scans. Severe warning continues for northern Alcona County. Quarter-size hail now, as well as a tag for a possible tornado and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Also not listed within this warning. Technically, it is not a severe criteria, but it is still severe. Technically, flooding. Flooding is a concern with this storm, as numerous storms have trained over the exact same areas. Would not be shocked to see a flood advisory, perhaps a flash flood warning if this storm continues to sit and dump rain. But at very least, some localized ponding and flooding of water. There's your latest, we're going to say, accumulation of rain. Almost at 3 inches in localized spots here over the past hour to hour and a half. So definitely getting some heavier totals now. And we got a lot of storm left to go through. So likely going to see some amount of localized flooding up here in Alcona County. In specific, right around Hubbard Lake in the northern part of Alcona. Checking out velocity here, we're going to see that the reds and greens that were showing up a little bit brighter there have since weakened into a little bit more broad, weaker colors. So the organization of the storm seems to be declining, which is good news, but still a very healthy storm on reflectivity. I'm still surprised they didn't decide to warn this back part of the storm. It's showing a good hail core for the past couple of What?
It could be coming.
Yeah, it looks like it's on the weakening trend now, but it was quite potent there for 10 or 15 minutes, though. Still looks potent, though. Let's going to scan on that. Actually, hail core on GR2 still says 1.5 inches. Let's go up in height. Yeah, it's still very healthy. So, in fact, I would not be shocked. In fact, they have a hail core up to 28. Let's go even higher. Hold on. We're at past 30,000 now. I would argue that could be warned, truthfully. I got 32,000 feet on this hail core on the Oscoda and Alcona County line. And this is moving in toward the warning polygon, which cuts off right here, but technically no warning on that part of the storm. So if you live on the Oscoda Alcona County line, somewhere where the storm's impacting you north of 72 and south of Turtle Lake, you guys are likely getting some larger hailstones there that is not currently warned, but still likely falling with that storm.
Still trying to fully merge here, and it's still feeding off cells from the boundary that are over near Levels and Lewiston right now. So you can see there's additional tiny little showers popping up, Ryan, over Oscoda County, and those will continue to feed into cells as long as it continues to stay alive. This will be quite the strong to severe storm over the next probably hour at least.
Warning continues for 28 minutes. I'm just looking at this, Joel. I think this is more of a flooding risk, turning into a flooding risk here. Looking at the wind velocity, it's on a decline for right now, at least. That could change. Hail core on it doesn't look as intense as it did a couple of scans ago. Still there, nonetheless. But with this training over the exact same areas as the previous storms, we're looking at a pretty decent flooding risk with this storm. Yeah, actually, latest storm total scan has just come in. We are now up to 3.5 inches of rain here. I would anticipate a flood advisory at very least incoming for portions of northern Alcona County at any moment here.
Yeah.
Because this is likely another half hour of rain still to come. So localized flooding and ponding definitely possible northern Alcona County. And this cell has now strengthened further. Hail core on GR2 is up close to 2 inches now. And there's still no warning on that.
That core in that back cell is going right down McCollum Lake Road. So if you know anyone on McCollum Lake Road, extreme portions of western Alcona County, that is ground zero for the cell. It's very interesting to watch an environment capable of cell splits all day. It seems like there's been some sort of parent cell that's kind of traversed south, and as it has done so throughout this afternoon and evening, it has split cell after cell after cell off to the north and east, and that's why we keep getting these continuous severe thunderstorm warnings for what seems to be an eternity for Alpena County, but it looks like at the current time, most of these cell splits are now going to be south of Alpena, so thankfully it looks like they're going to get a break. Especially as we get closer to 10 o'clock. But it's split off that. It's split off that cell there that you're pointing at. It's south of Alpena, and it's splitting off another cell over M65 there in southern Alpena County as well.
And that was one of the cells we were kind of tracking, saying, "Hey, it could head your way toward Alpena, but it probably isn't going to go south yet." And that's exactly what it did. So, luckily, Alpena looks like you're going to get missed by the majority of the storms for the evening. This This cell back here, I'd argue, needs a warning. I know it's close to the one existing, but that's likely some larger hail falling there.
Yeah. I got a 1-inch hail indicator on GR2 now.
1.7.
Sorry, yeah, 1.7.
Population. It's actually pretty populated through here too. So McCollum Lake, McGinn Creek. What road is this? This is going to be McCollum Lake Road still. M65. And that's about all I'm seeing here. No names on these roads.
Here's your 3D. Here's your 3D scan, guys. Behind the scenes, 30,000 feet on that easily. So Ryan is correct. Oops. There we go. Change it back to your radar. This is in northeast lower Michigan, up near Alpena, mainly Harrisville, Alcona, and Alcona County proper. So, yeah, there's your DW.
This is the only storm in the state at this current time.
Mm-hmm.
The only storm in the state. So if you're not in Alcona County, and maybe in the very southern part of Alpena County, you're fine. Flash flood warning for Alcona. That was pretty much expected at this point. I got the cover for that too.
Okay.
So flash flood warning now. That was expected for the Hubbard Lake area. If you guys have flooding reports as well, you can send those into us too, if you can do so safely. The immediate concern for you in the northern part of Alcona County is getting to higher ground immediately if you live in a flood-prone area.
I'll go ahead.
If you live by a creek that likes to... What?
I was going to say, I'll go ahead and read off the information whenever.
Go for it.
Okay. So the National Weather Service has issued this flash flood warning for northern Alcona County, as mentioned, till 1 a.m., so in effect for the next 4 hours here. 9:07, Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rainfall across the warned area. Radar estimates that 2 to 4 inches of rain have fallen in portions of northern Alcona County, and additional heavy rain is expected over the next hour. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Hazard: flash flooding caused by thunderstorms. Impact: flash flooding of small creeks, streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses, as well as other poor drainage in low-lying areas. Some locations that may experience flash flooding include Hubbard Lake and Mitchell Township. Turn around, don't drown when encountering flooded roadways. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Flash flood, radar indicated.
Do me a favor, Joel.
Yes.
Can you exit and come back? You are cutting out a lot for me. It's like I read every other word or so.
Okay. Well, don't speak during that time because no one's going to be able to hear you. All right, I'm back, Ryan.
Yay, let's hope it fixes it.
Let's hope so, too. Good news is our rotation appears to be pretty much gone. I'm going to go ahead and look back off to the west here just in case, and not really seeing anything. Severe thunderstorm warning does continue in this orange box. This goes until 9:30, so we got another 20 minutes on it. And this storm from behind is actually entering that orange box, so technically it will be under a severe thunderstorm warning soon, just by force, as it heads into the old warning box. But again, 20 minutes on the severe thunderstorm warning, another 4 hours on the flash flood warning, and there's also a special alert statement that's mixed into all this as well. It's in effect for 5 more minutes, but the warnings take precedent over the statements. So if you're in the statement, but also in a warning, take shelter because of the warning and not of the statement. I believe this is quickly approaching Curran Koran, however you pronounce it. Which is where that rotating wall cloud picture, or I guess lowering, was taken from, courtesy of Ben. Which again, that picture is up on our social media pages: X, Instagram, Threads, and Facebook. Username is MI Storm Chasers.
Just noticed here we have a special weather statement inside a severe warning inside a flash flood
I
warning.
was just mentioning that.
And we have a continuation of the severe warning for 1-inch hail now, and less than 50 mile per hour winds for the northern part of Alcona County. As an update for you guys at the fairgrounds, it is raining, and the heavier rain continues to remain off to your west, and the heavier core of the storm also continues to be off to your west. But be prepared, the rain is not going to go anywhere for the time being. So if you're waiting there for the rain to move out, you best just go home at this point. It ain't going to stop raining for a good while. So keep that in mind if you're at the fairgrounds there in Alcona County.
And besides the fact that there's a lot of probably cloud ground lightning going out there tonight, so you do want to be taking shelter inside in a sturdy structure from thunder and lightning, despite the fact that there is a warning in the area and a statement as well. They also did remove that tornado possible tag in the latest trim. So now just issued for hail.
Well, it is time for my dinner, so do I dare eat?
Go ahead.
All right. I'll be back.
Ryan's tempting fate here. Inside joke is somebody eats, something gets warned. With this warning expiring in 15 minutes, we could see an extension of it, so I would definitely be possible. Again, the main concern right now is the storm in Alcona County. If you're in Alpena County, you're basically in the clear. Again, the cell is continuing to shear off cells on its north end, but you can see these cells are heading straight east towards Osneek more than anything. If you are along the M32 corridor, chances are that, well, the boundary has moved so far south now, it's going to be hard to get storms heading up that way, although there's a tiny little rain showers trying to pop up south of Hillman. The biggest concern for severe is going to stay along and south of that boundary now. So this is going to be Oscoda, Alcona, eventually down towards Ogama and Iosco counties, if there's enough instability to play with out there, which again is our storm fuel. But because we are now at or beyond sunset, there is really not a whole lot of fuel left. It's just whatever is sitting around from earlier today. But if you are in downstream of this cell, you do want to be taking shelter inside. Again, this is going to be a lot of cloudy ground lightning, a lot of torrential downpours. Flash flood warning continues till 1 a.m. now for Alcona County. So 2 to 4 inches of rain have already fallen, flash flooding ongoing. You are in the Hubbard Lake area in northern Alcona County. No, that cell near Osneek is not likely to produce anything. It should be 2 syllables as well. Osneek was how it was. We did a pronunciation book. We started to last year, and I asked Northern Michigan, how do you pronounce this one? And pretty much everybody said it's like awe and sneak at the same time, 2 syllables. from native northern Michiganders. So I'm rolling with awe sneak from now until forever. But no, those cells will not be a concern. This is a spotter over here, if you're curious. That is a storm spotter, and that is their call sign. But they are far away from that storm. We don't really know them. Go ahead and check in on any more storm reports here behind the scenes. Sorry, getting a report out here. This is also the only warning in the state for those who are just tuning in. Very short or very low attended stream tonight, but that's okay. Again, if you know anybody that's in Alcona County, this is where the severe weather is ongoing. Eventually heading towards Lincoln and Harrisville and Glenny, if it can stay severe. Now again, because we are getting closer to sunset, as mentioned, severe chances will go down. Hail core right now in this cell is up at around 30,000 feet still, so we could easily see an extension of this warning in the next couple of minutes. It would be this back side of the storm right here, which is on the edge of that severe thunderstorm warning box, directly over M65. But we do appreciate you guys for getting the word out there tonight. Again, we would love to keep the entire state covered. So if you know anybody that does not know of, we do hear MSC. Again, we cover every single severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning, from beginning to end, no matter the time of the year, no matter the time of the day. If you're new here, feel free to follow along. Hit that follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Both are free to do. Again, word of mouth is the best thing to do, so feel free to share us with at least 2 friends or family members tonight. And we'll be here in the future for any more severe weather coverage. But at the current time, we're starting to wind down for the night. The cell is still severe warned in Alcona County. But for future streams, again, we will always be here. Show you care, like, and share is always a good rule of thumb. Ryan, I don't know if you're still in here. If you can give me a yes or no, but Emily just sent us a DM of that hail, confirming that hail size from Misery Bay. If you want to get that
on it.
Okay, thank you. If you want to get that posted, appreciate you. So a couple of 2-inch hail reports out there tonight. Some what we consider considerable hail reports. Again, considerable starts at 1.75 inches in diameter, and we exceeded that tonight at about 2 inches. So one report came from Lachine, and another report came from Misery Bay to the east of Alpena. We likely also had some 2-inch reports in southern and southwestern Alpena County earlier tonight. However, due to the lack of population out here, we have not received any reports. Again, this is going to be to the west and northwest of the town of Hubbard Lake. So if you know anybody that lives out here in southwest Alpena County, we are looking for hail reports. Again, you can send them in to us via messenger directly, or you can send them over to our Michigan Weather Reports group community page on Facebook. You can type in Michigan Weather Reports, make sure you request to join, and make sure you type in the information for those entry questions. You'll get accepted in, and your post will be approved. So make sure to do that. We would love and need any reports you could possibly send to us so that we can forward them over to the National Weather Service office so they can enter them into their database for essentially what's called storm confirmation for these warnings. So we do appreciate any reports you guys have to send, even if it is a wind report, hail report. If you'd like to send in a cool cloud as well that you believe is severe, we'll take those as well. However, we are looking more for damaging winds and hail reports at the current time. Latest scan continues to kind of increase this hail core, which is up to about 35,000 feet now, directly on M65, and this is, I believe, near the town of Coran. It's not popping up on my radar, Ryan, but this is M65 near the intersection of M65 and M72, which I believe is Coran.
Yeah. Yep.
If you're trying to send in reports here in our live stream chat, unfortunately we can't see them, so make sure you do if you just want to send them in via comment section, just send them into one of our other posts on our page, and we'll try to make sure to see it then, and make sure to tag us as well. Hail west side of Hubbard Lake and rain coming down pretty hard with lightning and thunder. A little over 1 inch of rain in the rain gauge from Hubbard Lake. Now at 1 3/4 as of 9:20. Thank you very much, Bonnie, in our comments section. See a perfectly round hailstone in Hubbard Lake as well from Jimmy. Accumulating hail on Lake Huron north of Lafarge in Alpena. Thank you very much to Tammy sending that in our comment section. Very cool clouds tonight in Bay City as well, from some storm clouds on Saginaw Bay. Go ahead.
Help me out. Where is Misery Bay? Am I clueless? Or...
Misery Bay, I believe, is the bay near Alpena.
I'll Google it just to make sure. Because I can't find it on anything.
Yes, it's...
Yep, I got you.
Yep.
I got it.
It's this tiny little point.
That post will be up in about 30 seconds.
Perfect. Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Instagram. Or Facebook, Threads, Instagram, and X. Sorry, I said Instagram twice.
There you go.
For those who are curious, again, we are MI Storm Chasers on all of those. Hail core is still up there. Let's go ahead and switch over to ZDR radar, and that is still a very, very potent updraft. Anywhere where you see on ZDR radar here in the hot pinks and reds, those are positively buoyant thunderstorms. So thunderstorms that are shooting up faster than they're collapsing down. If you see anything in terms of the greens and the blues, that's negative, or that's neutrally buoyant. And you get into the grays, that is negatively buoyant. So things that are likely to or storms that are likely to be collapsing down. So these storms are still blossoming up here as of 9:26 p.m. Amber in chat says, just tagged you all in Hubbard Lake's Facebook page for measurements if anyone got them. We'll have to see if we're part of that group. But thank you for that, Amber. I'm not 100% sure if we are. I'll go ahead and check. Hubbard Lake. Hubbard Lake, Michigan. Groups?
Is it a page or a group?
Hubbard Lake's Facebook page. I'm trying to figure that out. If so, what do we have to type in on Facebook to find it?
Yeah. We try to join as many groups as possible across the state for this reason, but there are so many counties and townships within that it's just hard to be in them all. So feel free to invite us to your groups, guys. If you are a member and you can invite people, feel free to invite us. We'll join your community groups.
Yeah, because I know some of the community groups don't allow pages to join, and Michigan Storm Chasers Facebook is a page, and so we are not able to join some certain groups. Just the way it is.
That is also true.
Good evening from downtown Detroit, and welcome in, Nicole. Thank you for watching. No severe weather near Detroit tonight. Good news there. Go ahead and zoom down there real quick. Pretty clear out there. Nothing but a little bit of ground clutter on the radar site. Severe thunderstorm warning for Alcona County expires in 2 minutes. May need an extension, as correlation coefficient hints at some hail still falling here. But it is collapsing very quickly. It was about 33,000, now it's down to 20,000, so maybe not. This may expire right at the perfect time. Everyone's having a great evening out there. Got still about 300 of you guys watching tonight across all 4 of our platforms. Thank you guys for staying up late with us. If you know anyone in Alcona County, this is where these storms are impacting, though. It's very rural locations of northeast Michigan. We're going to stay alive until this storm has weakened to a point where we can get off, which hopefully will be soon. The storm continues to impress in terms of staying together. 10 more seconds on that warning.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New. Oh wait.
And now flash flood warning is the highest warning on there. Flash flood warning is a reminder in effect till 1 a.m. for 2 to 4 inches of rain that have fallen and an additional inch possible over the next hour. This area continues to get pummeled with back-building cells and cells that are splitting off from this parent thunderstorm. So we could easily see more rain to fall in this area. But if you guys are heading off, we understand. Feel free to hit that like button on the way out and make sure to follow us so you're back again someday for more severe weather coverage in Michigan. We'll still be here, hanging out, making sure you guys are all prepared for severe weather in the state of Michigan, no matter where you go. Even if you are taking a cross-state trip, we'll still be covering those counties. I guess since there is a little bit of a break here, we can go ahead and read through our sponsors. It helps keeps these streams going. Ryan, you're smiling like you wanted to say that.
What?
Oh, I don't know. You were smiling like you were going to say that too. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, sponsors. Again, we went through this in part 1 of our stream. This is part 2 coverage today of our severe weather. What we do here at MSC is not free, so we do shout out our trusted partners, is what they're called, as they are all vetted and background checked here by our staff at MSC for insurance and other background checks. So feel free to give these businesses your business. Also, we don't really have a Northern Michigan business per se in terms of roofing, storm restoration. So if you want to become a sponsor, you can email Chandler or Alex. It's just their name. So Chandler at MichiganStormChasers.com or Andrew at MichiganStormChasers.com to become a trusted partner. But here are our trusted partners across the state, starting with Storm Guard Roofing Construction, based out of Southeast Michigan. Lifestyle Exteriors, based out of Lansing and Traverse City. Katz Roofing and Siding, based out of Lansing/Potterville. Pro Powder Inc., based out of South Haven. Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding, based out of Sanilac, St. Clair counties. Captain K Tree Specialist, based out of Southeast Michigan. Kuiper Tree Care, based out of West Michigan. FBI Buildings for all of your barn dominium needs across the Lower Peninsula. On Top Roofing for all of your Livingston County roofing needs. You also got Schneider Commercial Building Solutions, based out of Lansing. Commercial roofing needs there. All of your insurance adjustment needs, turn to Shield Public Adjusters. Got Top Gun Roofing and Exteriors, based out of West Michigan. A-Class Construction and Restoration, based out of Mason County in Ludington. Rainbow Restoration, based out of Kent County, Grand Rapids. Rapid Radios for all of your LTE wireless radio needs is our MSC trusted partner for Chasing Communications. Turn to Rapid Radios. Guardian Technologies for all of your security camera needs across your business. We were just about to say across the state, but that is what we use Guardian for here at MSC, is our weather camera network. So shout out to Guardian for that. Also, feel free to support the Ronald McDonald House of Detroit by calling the number on your screen there. Have American Arbor LLC, based out of Southwest Michigan. And lastly, Apex Restoration, based out of the Thumb, specifically Grand Blanc. So shout out to all of those businesses who help support operations here at Michigan Storm Chasers. Couldn't do it without you guys. For those who are new here tonight and who have tuned in, thank you guys for finding us. And if you follow along, appreciate you for hitting that follow or subscribe button. We'll be back for sure in the future. Ryan, are we good to go for the night, or shall we stay live for a little bit longer for the cell?
Let's look at VIL. Well, the good news is this is 15 minutes old.
True.
Let's look on. I think we're good, but there's always a chance that it could re-strengthen, so if we do hop off, we'll go on standby mode until the storm is completely dead. I'm cool if we want to pop it off here.
Okay. With that being said, then we will head off for now. Again, we'll be back as usual for part 3 coverage. Yeah, part 3 coverage as needed. Again, there's the potential for a short-fused MCS to pop up tonight, somewhere in the vicinity of Lake Michigan, near and north of Grand Haven. It hasn't popped up on radar, but some models have indicated some cells popping up on Lake Michigan and moving into Muskegon, Oceana, Mason County, and points to the east. So we'll have to keep an eye on that tonight. Ryan is looking at windmills right now in Wisconsin for some reason.
I was just playing around with my tools, man.
It's okay. I do that too. Again, we got sometimes on radar we got what's called beam refraction or beam bending. On certain nights when the inversion kicks in, the beam gets bent down towards the surface, so it picks up on more surface-based things such as windmills. So we see that sometimes in Isabella County of Michigan from the Grand Rapids radar, and it happens obviously in Wisconsin as well. Tonight I don't think that is the case, but it also depends on how close. It also depends on how close to the radar the windmills are as well. So if they're really close to the radar, then they're always going to be there. But if not, then yeah, they won't show up. So we'll go ahead and pop off there. Ryan's looking at some dirty coverage or dirty beam. I don't know what to call it there. But something is blocking the radar beam from Grand Rapids up towards those storms. It also could be reflecting on the hailstones that are being tumbled around in the upper levels of the atmosphere, up about 125 miles away from the radar site. So that is also why that pops up there. But other than that, if you are in Elkona County, this storm will continue to kind of sit over you guys for the next hour. Flash flood warning will continue through 1 a.m. for northern Elkona County. 2 to 4 inches of rain have fallen. Another inch is possible. And we could see extensions of the flash flood warning a little bit further south if this continues. So stay safe out there. Turn around, don't drown. And we'll catch you guys later here at MSC if needed. Otherwise, catch you guys probably tomorrow or Saturday for more severe weather coverage. From Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma and Ryan, we'll catch you guys later. Have a great night, everyone.